All right, now for more perspective on what is happening at this moment in the American elections, we're being joined by Mr. Jonah Blank, who is a former foreign policy advisor to President Joe Biden, who had advised Biden for 9 years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And of course, joining us live on this broadcast. Mr. Jonah Blank, this is a very critical election and there is a lot that is happening there. But at this moment, the United States of America is dealing with hurricanes. And the Republican camp is saying that the Biden administration is just not doing enough to help the people who've been affected by these hurricanes. He's also gone on and said that probably the funds that should have gone to the people affected by the hurricanes, the American citizens, those funds are being diverted. One for immigrants and also for Biden's foreign policy initiatives. What's your take on that?
Well, the problem really is the former president just telling flat out lies. It's not a problem to criticize the government's response. One can do that. But to tell flat out lies is just beyond the pale. And it's really harming people hurt by Hurricane Milton, Hurricane Helene, because it's telling them that they cannot get relief that they are getting and are entitled to get right now. And that's why the Republican governors of the states affected are specifically saying, no, these are lies. They're not true.
Right. But a lot of people within America, in places like Florida, who are looking at the United States government funding and aiding, providing military aid to Ukraine and to the state of Israel at a time when a lot of people in America need desperately the government to step in and do more for them. They've had their homes completely blown away in this hurricane. The scenes that are coming out of Florida are terrible. And the money, they say, is not going enough to address those issues, but the money is going for Ukraine, the money is going for Israel. How do you respond to these people who've got this criticism about the Biden administration?
Well, it's just a fake criticism because they're two totally different sets of money. One can say we should not be sending money for Ukraine. One can say we should be spending more money on hurricane relief. The two are not related. It's a different pool of money. And the people who voted against more money for hurricane disaster relief are overwhelmingly Republicans, very often from the exact same communities affected. So Democrats are putting more money for hurricane relief than Republicans are putting. One can say you don't want money to go to Ukraine. Fine, that's a totally different argument, but one can't have a good faith argument saying you're taking money from disaster relief to send to Ukraine when it's the very same people who are voting against that money.
All right. Now, my final question to you, Mr. Jonah Blank, is we just heard the former President Barack Obama, who's now firmly backing Kamala Harris. How much of a pull do you think, someone like Barack Obama now has in this election?
I think it will have a certain impact because he is one of the very few political leaders who is still broadly popular. In our highly partisan time, there are very few people who really can move the needle at all. Now, Barack Obama has the ability to reach some of the very constituencies that Kamala Harris needs to bring home. His latest speech was particularly targeted at African-American men, a constituency that Kamala Harris really needs to solidify in order to win. So I think he will have a certain amount of impact.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Jonah Blank, for joining us and getting us that perspective there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.